Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Endgame in AION patch 6.2, which is basically the game's relaunch in 2018, and I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about Endgame from the moment you get there as a new player, returning player, to the moment you are actually satisfied with your character and can, start kicking some ass. So I'm gonna talk about all the important things. There is a lot of things that you can do in AION at Endgame, obviously, same as in any other MMORPG. However, in this video, I'm only going to mention the things that are the most important and that I consider the most important, the most efficient, the most fun, and that give you the most out of the game, yeah? In case you don't know me, maybe you're new to the game, maybe you're new to my channel, my nickname is Saivo and I've been playing AION for a long time, and I'm gonna be your captain in this video, guys. If you like AION, if you're enjoying the game, if you're playing it, if you want to know more about it, please subscribe to my channel. It is free and you get to learn a lot of things from my videos, yeah? Cool, let's get into the business, guys. We need to split this video into two parts: PvP things at endgame and PvE things at endgame, yeah? Before we split it, I'm gonna tell you the most important thing that is both for PvP and for PvE, yeah? And this doesn't go in any category, it's just the one most important thing that you should be doing at endgame for both of the game's aspects. It is the weekly quests in these garrisons that you see around the endgame map Lacrum. Now, each of these garrisons gives you two weekly quests. They are light blue quests, and those weekly quests, after you finish them, they are extremely easy. For example, this garrison right here gives you a weekly quest to kill 5 mobs in this area. Super easy mobs, you can do them with any gear, you can go join a group or you can do them solo, it doesn't matter. These garrison quests every week need to be completed, all of them as a must. I understand that if you're playing an Helios, it might be hard to go to the Asmodian side and vice versa to finish them, but I'm sure you have 7 days, and that is why you have 7 days to finish them, because they are sometimes pretty tough due to the open world PvP aspect, but you should finish them. These quests are the most important thing that you should be focused on at endgame as a new player, returning player, etc. There is another 4 quests that are also weekly. They are in both of these camps under the fort. If you're an Helios, this is your camp with the 4 times repeatable quest. If you're an Asmodian, this is your camp with the 4 times repeatable quest. These quests, I can actually show you an example. Where are they? It's this one right here. So these quests here in the 2 camps, they ask you to kill mobs all around the middle, and one of them asks you to kill mobs on your side of the map, yeah? 20 mobs for each quest. You can do each of the 4 quests 4 times every week, yeah? Again, it gives you Genesis crystals, super important currency. Now, a trick, if I may, before I move onward to the currency and tell you why, a trick with these kinds of quests from these 2 camps is that go play with a friend, you know, take a guildie or take a friend or take someone else random from looking for group and do these quests together. When you take all 4 from here and you go grind yourself the mobs here, when you finish the quest, you instantly deliver it. Your friend doesn't. Your friend waits a bit. After you instantly deliver your quest, your friend shares with you the quest you just delivered, which for him is completed, and then you get it as a fresh quest. He delivers his quest by clicking this button afterwards, and then you share with him the same quest. That way you're the most efficient possible and you don't need to leave a zone, deliver, teleport to Lacrum back and run back here and so on and so forth. So you're super efficient. You can stay in one zone, finish one quest 4 times over, and then afterwards move to this zone, and then to this zone, and then so on and so forth. You keep sharing between you guys. You don't have to be 2, you can be 6 of you, but I'm just saying it's the most efficient way to do that, yeah? Cool, let's get to the currency, guys. The currency is super important. Now, what you can do with these Genesis crystals? Well, if you're playing an Asmodian, of course you should play an Asmodian, but if you're playing one, you have these merchants on the right side of Lacrum Fortress, yeah? Here you can buy, where is it? Yeah, here you can buy PvP gear from these merchants, the starting point of your best set PvP in-game. On the other side of things, you can buy yellow fabled PvE gear, yeah? This merchant right here, next to everything, sells you boxes of PvP enchantment stones and PvE enchantment stones, yellow, fabled quality. These boxes give you 7, 8 or 9 pieces of these enchantment stones. For 50 of these tokens, let's just buy. My chat is here, guys, just so you can see. I got from this box, where is it? I got from this box 9 PvP enchantment stones for 50 tokens. This is an amazing way to get yellow fabled enchantment stones for your PvP gear and PvE gear as well. How you should be handling, now let's get into the PvP side of things. I explained you the whole thing, yeah? How you should be handling the PvP aspect of Endgame is as follows. There is 2 types of PvP gear in AION. There is a crafted set and there is this set right here, which you keep needing to upgrade. This set right here is the best set in game in terms of PvP. The crafted set is the second best set in game in terms of PvP. So what I advise you to do is, in your first week you farmed all of your camps and you farmed these 4 quests here as well. You have around 700 of these Genesis crystals every week, yeah? So you go to this weapons merchant right here, you go to your preferred weapon, like the greatsword for example, and you purchase a greatsword. You don't purchase anything else for the rest of your 500 tokens that week. You just buy one greatsword and then you work on the greatsword. If you want to go crazy, you can purchase a greatsword and then you can buy yourself, I don't know, a chest piece also. You've spent 500 of your 700 tokens Genesis crystals, and you work on these 2 yellow pieces until they are plus 15 and also all 3 mana stones unlocked. Having a full set of this yellow gear completed on you plus 0 is not gonna make you feel a lot better. It's not gonna make you feel that you're kicking ass. So there is no point in wasting all of your Genesis crystals on purchasing a full set in 1 week or in 2 weeks of doing those camps just for you to still feel bad. Work on 2 pieces, and the other pieces, for example, that you need PvP gear with, you can equip PvE items. Some PvE items, like the purple PvE items, are actually better for PvP than some of these yellow items, even if it's part of the best set. So just keep that in mind as a reference for the future, yeah? Cool. What I recommend you do in terms of what pieces to buy, I recommend you to start with weapons and accessories at first from these merchants. Armor, yeah, you should buy the crafted armor if someone is selling it on the broker. You should craft the PvP gear yourself if you have crafting leveled up. If you don't have crafting leveled up, you should slowly level up your crafting and craft yourself maybe the PvP crafted gear. That gear is very good to have a full set of armor from that set, which is the second best, and the full set of accessories plus weapon from these merchants right here. That is the most efficient way, and that is the way that's gonna make you eventually feel the best in terms of PvP. Because you cannot, as a new player, work on all pieces at the same time. Just spending your crystals and equipping them is not gonna make any difference for you. Instead, you can buy a weapon for 300 pieces, and you can buy a necklace for another 200, and you've spent 500. With the other 200 Genesis crystals that you have for 1 week, just buy yourself 4 of these boxes of PvP enchantment stones, and there you go. You have like what, 35 pieces of enchantment stones yellow, with which you can enchant that weapon and that necklace that you just bought from these merchants. When those pieces are plus 15, continue and buy 2 rings 1 week. You know, next week or in 2 weeks, buy yourself 2 earrings, and so on and so forth. Buy a feather, buy a bracelet, buy a wing piece. So this is how you should move on in terms of PvP, what you should be doing. Other things related to PvP for endgame, definitely if you find a group, these war quests, right? Kill the opposing faction next to that artifact and so on and so forth. These also give you Genesis crystals. Everything that gives you Genesis crystals is somehow worth it. Of course, as a new player, no, you're not gonna just go ahead and kick ass 5 Ilios easy and then you just get... So find a group for it. look for groups for these things, make friends, join a guild, and so on and so forth. Very important to do also are the dredgens, right? The 6-man PvP arenas. Even if you queue up solo and even if you lose, you're still gonna get a good amount of abyss points, and you're still gonna get materials that you need to upgrade that gear that I showed you from the merchants, from yellow to purple. That is obtainable from the dredgens. There is another material, this one, that you need to get also in order to upgrade. Yeah, this material, let me show you actually. This material here you get by disenchanting PvP gear, breaking PvP gear. You can break these kinds of pieces, yeah, these yellow pieces from the merchant with Genesis crystals, but that's not the best idea. What you should be doing is breaking crafted yellow PvP pieces in order to get this material right here. Yeah, so this one you're gonna get. This one is extremely easy to get from 6 versus 6 PvP that I highly recommend you do every time it's up. Join a group from your server or just queue up solo. You get these pieces and you also get abyss points. Abyss points, you see right here, are very important for you to upgrade this piece into this piece. The moment you have this purple piece on you and you enchant it a little bit, you can already start feeling that you're kinda starting to kick ass in terms of PvP. So for that, you need to do obviously your camps, you need to do obviously your dredgens 6v6, and you also need to buy or start crafting yourself PvP crafted gear so you can break it for these particular fragments. Or you can spend your Genesis crystals on buying lots of these random pieces from the merchants and break those. However, I strongly disagree with purchasing pieces from these merchants with Genesis crystals, because Genesis crystals can be used for yellow enchantment stones, which you desperately need, because it is very hard to get these yellow pieces to +15. Cool. Another thing that you should do in terms of PvP, and that's the last thing I'm gonna recommend, are sieges. In Lacrum, go to every single siege there is possible. Just go in a blob, go in a zerg. Sieging is extremely fun. AION is not a PvP game, AION is a sieging game. So please make sure you go to sieges. Not only it's fun and nice and you do something for your faction, but you also get very good rewards. Now after you've enchanted your yellow to purple with mats from Dredgen and from breaking gear and a little bit of abyss points, by the way, if you win one of those runatoriums or the 6v6 PvP, you get about a bit less than 500,000 abyss points. So just for you to understand how fast you can actually get 3.5 million, which is required from this, you can get it from what, 7 dredgens. So it's pretty nice. Of course, if you win. If you lose, it's gonna take you, I don't know, 14 dredgens, but it's still something. It's still 2 weeks in which you can get these pieces to +15, right, and get these fragments as well. It is all perfectly calculated, and that's for 2 pieces. After you got it to purple, you want to make it into a red quality piece. Yeah, so mats for that are from these sieges that I mentioned. So go to sieges, get your mats, and be ready when you're gonna have purple gear in like 2 months from now, so you can just get it to red without any problems. So do that, go to sieges, very, very important. Yeah, cool. This message, very important, and let's actually start with that message, because we're going to the PvE side of things. We're done with PvP. I mentioned 6v6, I mentioned dredgens, and I mentioned these particular camps and PvP quests in the open world. Of course, there's other things that you can do. You can do 1v1 arenas. Go for it. I'm not gonna recommend it, I'm not gonna talk about it, because you as a new player are just gonna get your ass kicked absolutely constantly, and you're just a 1v1. It's not even a group fun in which you might get lucky to be carried 1 time a week, right? Cool, but you can do it. Don't let me stop you. Now, the message on the screen was about this dungeon right here, yeah? The Cube Laboratory dungeon. And since we moved to the PvE side of things, this is super important for you to do. You can enter it 7 times a week, and it is mandatory because it gives you stats Stats which are all sorts of stats: HP, mana, healing boost, physical attack, physical defense, magic accuracy, etc, etc. So stats for your character are very, very important in 6.x patch, because it is already hard enough to get to the caps that you might want to get, like, I don't know, a 49% crit chance, 50% block rate, and so on and so forth, whatever stats you're looking for. Doing this cube dungeon, it is so easy to get stats. The dungeon is absolutely trivial. It is a solo thing, a one-man thing. So whenever you see that message on your screen, look on the map where it spawned and start running there like the wind. It is very important, mandatory, to do that 7 times every week. Super good rewards from there, rewards that improve your stats. Not only that, another thing you can do with the gold version of those cubicles is what I'm doing, what you're seeing in the background right now. I didn't really need to have block rate on my chanter, so I'm just gonna sell them on the broker to make a lot of money as a profit for my block cubicles, the golden version. And this is another great benefit from the cubicle laboratory that you can do. I'm gonna have a guide, I don't think so actually, it's so easy guide. I don't know, I'm gonna decide if I'm gonna have a live guide, beginner guide for this dungeon. It is so easy to do, you don't need a guide. Yeah, it is absolutely trivial. You can even be AFK in it the whole time. Cool. The second thing I want to mention in terms of PvE are obviously the dungeons. You should do every single week your entries for Garden of Knowledge, and on the Asmodian side it's right here. You should do Mirage Refuge, on the Asmodian side is right here. And you should also do every day your cooldown of Garden of Knowledge bonus. It is very important to do all of these things on a weekly/daily basis. They give you nice PvE enchantment stones, and they give you Kina. Kina is one of the most important currencies in the game, and you're gonna thank me in about 4.5 months from now if you're gonna be rich with Kina. Doing these dungeons, Garden and Mirage, also gives you a good starting gear for you to progress further. And to do these dungeons, Narakali and Holy Tower, yeah, these are the Asmodian side, the Asmodian version of things. Doing Garden of Knowledge and Mirage's Refuge gives you the chance to progress further in terms of PvE and get to these dungeons. Narakali, a 6-man, and Holy Tower, another 6-man. These are not hard dungeons, they are easy dungeons. However, if you join a group and you're in full Lockroom PvE campaign gear, it's not really gonna work out. You're either gonna die or you're gonna hold your group back. Maybe the group has another noob in them and they would maybe have counted on you to do a little bit better job, and so on and so forth. Yeah. In order to do these dungeons, I'm not gonna talk about what stats you need. I am going to talk about what you need for this and this when I do my live guides in them, and that's gonna be probably next week. So I'm gonna talk about what stats you need to be good, to do good in these, but in the meantime you guys should definitely do Garden every week and Mirage every week and Garden bonus every day. If you find a group and if you have full gear like yellow level 78 from Garden and Mirage, then definitely start applying for these groups, for Narakali and Holy Tower. They give you yellow enchantment stones, purple gear. Actually, why am I talking about this? You just hover over the dungeon and you see exactly what you get. Yeah, very good drops. In PvE is the money. If you wanna have money, and money is gonna be very important because eventually you're gonna be able to buy really nice PvP gear with money. The second best set, not the best, but really nice still. Then the money is in PvE content. Eventually you're gonna wanna get to the point where you can farm Promethean's workshop, and then later on Makarna, the 12-man dungeon, because again, shitloads of money by doing PvE content in AION. Another PvE related thing that you should be focused on is the Luna dungeons. Yeah, the Luna dungeons, boys. Where are they? Right here. One of them is a weekly thing. You can do it once a week. The other one is a daily thing. You should do it every single day. Sometimes you can get these kinds of rewards, which are obviously really nice. You can get these kinds of rewards, which are obviously really nice. And you can be completely AFK from start to finish in each of these dungeons, so they are super awesome, and I really appreciate both of these dungeons just because of the fact that they are just a nice way to get some easy rewards by being AFK. Last thing I want to mention in terms of PvE is grinding. Grinding, guys, anywhere in Lock Room gives you really good money. In patch 6.0 grinding is a real thing, and if you want to be a billionaire, go ahead and grind as much free time as you have. Instead of doing what I'm doing right now, which is recording videos and jumping in Lock Room AFK, you should definitely, whenever you have a half an hour free, waiting for a queue, waiting for a friend, just go and grind. Here, everywhere it's good to grind. Find your own favorite spot, secluded, with drops. You can get crafting mats, which you can use yourself for PvP gear. You can get all sorts of mana stones. Mana stones sell extremely well because they are not so often found, because people have not yet understood that if everyone on the faction would grind, we would all be happy. So mana stones also give you a nice profit. Fluxes to sell them now, a nice profit, and this is how you make the money. Or you can just keep them for yourself to level up your crafting profession, and then later on to craft your own PvP gear so you can disenchant it to upgrade your best set. And yeah, there's other things, guys. I didn't forget anything, I just didn't mention stuff on purpose, like farming world bosses. What the fuck? Anyway, you can do those things if you're so bored. If you have so much free time, go ahead and farm your world bosses for 20 pieces of cubicle, and maybe you get one yellow mat to craft PvE gear, which is a very bad idea to craft PvE gear. PvP is really good, PvE is really shit. And that's all I wanted to mention in this video, guys. I wish you in the meantime lots of love. I thank you for watching. Do the things that I recommended. They're gonna give you a lot of fun, they're gonna give you a lot back out of the game, and generally overall in a few months from now you're gonna be the happy one. Yeah, as always, guys, lots of love. Thank you for watching again, and I'm gonna see you really soon.